Dungeon Crawl was a traditional roguelike made in 1997 and was maintained until 2003. It was then revived in 2006, the new version being named after a folk tale where a village was tricked into having a wholesome potluck. The reference to the story is because Dungeon Crawl's stone soup is open source, meaning any programmer can add their own stuff to the game, the code being the ingredients and the game the soup. I found this game when a game reviewing channel recommended a game playing channel. Then that game playing channel had someone playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I missed schoolwork because of it. The game can be played online on the website or downloaded, the web version being most up to date. It could be worthwhile to try some of the older versions, where the game is open source and in constant development. To avoid feature creep, the developers remove features when they add new ones. Recently, they removed the hunger system, cursed items, and the ghost of past adventurers. You are an adventurer entering the labyrinthine dungeon in search of the Orb of Zot. You can either play through the main dungeon or one of the bonus sprint levels. Obviously, you should play the tutorial first. You play as one of 27 races, such as the Draconians, whose girth is too great to wear most armor, and gains an evolution at level 7. Or the Demon Spawn, who's going through puberty, growing horns and claws like we all do in middle school. The Gnoll, not to be mistaken with the Ghoul, is probably the easiest for new players because it removes the need to understand the skill system. After you pick your species, you pick your background, which is simply your starting loot and skills. Dungeon Crawl is a traditional roguelike, using traditional roguelike things. You can learn most of the controls in the tutorial. The dungeon is a massive place to explore. You'll find frozen caverns, underground jungles, old temples, pools of acid you mistake for solid ground, and much more. Unlike those pools of acid, many things want you dead. Even the cute things want you dead. Using your wits, or lack thereof, and whatever you can find, you can get through. In the dungeon, you'll find many tools to use. Enchanted weapons, rings of power, books of magic, and the protection of gods. But you shouldn't just use whatever you find. With the skill system, you're most effective with weapons and tools you have the most experience with. The skill system automatically puts your levels in wherever you use the most, but can be manually overwritten to put skill levels in particular skills in the skills menu. With many horrors haunting the dungeon, you might seek refuge in a deity. With 27 different gods to pick from, each unique and interesting, except for Waku, you have no shortage of divine flavor. Take the Shining One, who isn't a sneaking coward and leads a cleansing crusade. Or Waku, who give you rock sometimes. You don't even deserve a proper pronunciation, Waku. I highly recommend Dungeon Crawl, unless you have a big project or responsibility you need to take care of. I'm not sure if this game is best for people new to traditional roguelikes, but the tutorial is decent. You might want to try older versions of the game. I give this an 8 out of 10, because everyone uses scores, right? I'm new to YouTube, and I plan to become a variety channel making mostly essays. Maybe making stories too.